So this is going to be an interesting video to talk about. So yeah, Dead or Alive 7 might be happening. We're going to talk about that. So I made a video basically telling people why Tekken was really the only one that survived out of the 3D fighting games that basically came about. And if you look in that video, it's not really talking about them being bad. I will never say Dead or Alive is bad. I'll never say that Virtua Fighter is bad. And I will never say that Soulcalibur is bad. I will never actually say that the games themselves I have anything particularly wrong with. I'm actually still pretty proud of that video because it basically went more in depth about the ideas, more about the marketing side and the problems that actually happened within those particular fighting games. Because technically, yes, they all had some sort of problems. Virtual Fighter didn't really stay long enough to actually make a community. It made a strong one, and that's not exactly what I was saying. I was saying it didn't necessarily stay on one console long enough to the point where it would make a lasting impact and where they might actually start growing bigger than Tekken. It was stuck on the Sega Saturn or the Sega Dreamcast, and it really was in a niche area. So that never really grew. And that's basically the idea of what the video was. Talking about what individual parts about the games would actually have a bit of issue making it grow. And for Dead or Alive, it was never the fact that it used fan service as a way of advertising. It's polarizing. The beach game did not kill Dead or Alive. I know people who actually still will play the beach game because it's Dead or Alive. They want to support the company. That video also performed surprisingly well for me, which is, I'm actually proud of it. I'm still proud of that. More importantly, it is outdated. Like, that is the most important thing about this. It technically is outdated. Because yes, I am talking more about the marketing side of what went wrong. It technically is not. The companies that now want to make those games possible now want to make those games. And quite frankly, I'm astonished. The only two games that I didn't talk about are not trying to make something is Soulcalibur, which kind of makes sense. Tekken is doing really well, and it's kind of hard to partition between Soulcalibur and Tekken, and Bloody Raw, which makes sense because it hasn't really had any traction outside of the PS2 era. It's kind of hard to revitalize or justify making a game such as that. But what's really going on though, what I'm going to call the 3D renaissance, right? This sounds really weird because we kind of had a small one back in 2019, 2016. But in fact, Tekken is trying to go back to basics. Whatever the heck that means, right? What does going back to basics actually mean? I don't actually know. But I'm more than happy to give like season 3 an actual try. I will actually give season 3 a try, so long as Jack is not looping me. I have never seen so much impressive loops just from one character. Virtua Fighter 6 officially is happening. The fact that is even a thing, whether it's called Virtua Fighter 6 or not, it is completely irrelevant. The fact is they're making a new game in the franchise, and I'm just over the moon with that one because essentially it's one of the few fighting games that I would say that deserved it. It's such a deep mechanically, it's beautiful art style wise, and quite frankly, I'm just so happy that I'm just genuinely happy that they are officially making a new game for this franchise. The fact is, it deserved a second chance. It deserved to be loved by everyone. And now let's talk about a game that everyone thought was dead. Dead or Alive 7? Question mark is coming back. This is actually one that I genuinely hope for. Dead or Alive coming back actually it means the world. Like, I love Virtua Fighter, I love Tekken, but I genuinely was one of the people that always never understood the hate for Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive, for me, it wasn't necessarily like, it's not a bad game. I have fun with the game, and people dog on it just because of some really stupid reasons. Like, people dog on it, and they might even say it's a simple fighting game, or rather, it's not exactly as deep as people think it is. A, it's fairly deep, and B, so what if the game's simple? It's fun. That's kind of missing out the point, right? Games are meant to be fun, not necessarily deep, right? Dead or Alive has always been fun. Like 4, 5, 6, the game's fun. Like, be curious, not judgmental. Actually try and have fun with the game. You might actually find yourself enjoying it. But we went from Tekken was the only one left to almost an entire Mount Rushmore of 3D fighters standing again. That is insane. Because we're only missing, at this point, Soulcalibur. And quite frankly, I do think it might come back. One of these days, it might come back. Not right now. Not right now. The Tekken team is way too divided. Let's talk about the issues again. The issue with Soulcalibur is essentially Tekken is its sister series. It's competing with itself. Namco is stretched way too thin just to, like, Harada just left. At this point, Soulcalibur, it needs at least a good couple, it needs a long time to start development. And I want to see it back, but I'm not saying, I don't see it coming back just yet. I want to see it back, but I don't actually know. One thing also I want to make more important to everyone, right? More importantly, you don't have to see them as rivals. You can just enjoy the game, right? This entire idea of rivalry culture is just as it's outdated. It's played out. It doesn't make any sense anymore, right? The idea you have to pick just one of them is dumb. I don't want one of them just to win. I want them all to exist. I want them to get, surprisingly, I want them to get DLC because that means they're freaking alive. I want them to get DLC. What's going on with this? But no, Tekken can still have its deep movement. It can have its legacy skills. It can have the insane character stories. It can have all of that and not tread on Virtua Fighter, which can be pure discipline and clean fundamentals with no story whatsoever. It can have all of that. Dead or Alive, it can still have the whole system, the weird flow, the movement, the speed, that environmental chaos. Oh, we're getting more environmental chaos. Soulcalibur, it can use weapons, right? Spacing controls, the personality, the personality. Like, yeah. These all offer different flavors. You can just enjoy all of them. Like, forget about the rivalry. Yes, you can enjoy Tekken over Dead or Alive. Yes, you can enjoy Dead or Alive over Virtua Fighter. That's the point. The fact is they're still alive. That's the point. That's why I love these games, because they offer something different. They offer something unique. They're not all the same game. Let's actually talk about Dead or Alive. Let's talk about Dead or Alive. I love Dead or Alive. It's a taboo to say in some spaces, but I absolutely love Dead or Alive. I'm not defending it. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying you should blindly buy the game. I want people to honestly give it a shot, right? Dead or Alive Last Rounds is coming out, and when it comes out, it's going to have the free-to-play version. Just try it. I'm not saying it's deep. I'm not even saying it's good, right? Dead or Alive 6, it had a lot of things that had its faults. If the dev team had more time and didn't have to focus on the market, the marketed scandals, the scandals that came out, just because the DLC, corporate greed really got in the way of that game. It really didn't blossom that hard and fell out way too hard. Listen, personally, I love the game. I absolutely love Dead or Alive. I think it's a fun franchise. I recommend you just trying it out. It's free anyways, so you might as well. And I just want it to be healthy. I genuinely want Virtua Fighter to be healthy. I want Dead or Alive to be healthy. I want Tekken to be healthy. I want Soulcalibur to be alive too, damn it. I want it all, man. I want it all. I want it all. Let's then talk about Virtua Fighter 6, right? I am happy, right? Dead or Alive is one thing. It is pure spectacle, right? Virtua Fighter 6 represents something completely different. It's not flashy. It's not spectacle. There's very few. It's not chaotic, right? There's something about this game that just screams neutral. I want clean mechanics. I want weight. I want the clean neutral. I want the natural clean fighting game back. Quite frankly, it's the only one that I know that does it as well. There's not a single fighting game that does it as well as Virtua Fighter. I want that beautiful. I want that. I genuinely do. I don't think we need one of these games to dominate the genre. I just want them to be good. That's as simple as that. I want them to be good. You don't have to like Dead or Alive. You don't even have to like Virtua Fighter. My point is, they are back. That's all I ever asked for. That's all I ever wanted. It's no longer just Tekken dominating. There's now a clear, it's no longer dogmatic. You do not have to just play Tekken. And that is healthy because it means that Tekken can evolve and get better, right? That's what I want. I want Tekken to get better because it requires competition to get better. That's why we play fighting games. You play fighting games to get better, and you get better by beating your competition. If Tekken wins again, so be it. But the fact is, it now has competition. The point here is, don't be tribal. Be hurtful. If you don't like They're Alive, that's fine. They're all back. Anyways, thank you all for watching. It's been a pleasure running at you lot. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, and yeah. Ja, matane yo.